Welcome back. If you're joining us now for the first time, I would advise you and encourage you to go and review our previous episodes. We've established so far that a parent, the first rule of parenting, and let's say the role of parenting, is to be a role model. And of course, we see that consistently, and we will continue to come back to this point, because of course, we see this just by looking at Divrei Chazal, where we see that the greatest of great, the Arizal, the Ramchal, the Maral, they don't expand on parenting. And the reason for that is that it was clear to them that parenting happens by being a role model. So there was no need to expand on details. How do you do this and how do you do that? You just have to work on yourself and be a role model. And of course, we will come back to this point and we will try to discuss how can we become the best role model possible, and how can we at the same time, even though we can expect our children to be better than us, how can we yearn for them to become better? How can we provide for them tools that they could become better than us, of course? But for today, I would like to look into a different point. In the Torah, we see multiple times the importance and the significance of a name. Avraham Avinu's name was changed. Sarah Aminu's name was changed. Yaakov Avinu's name was changed. And each one of the Shvatim, the name meant something else. A name is very important. So we understand that the role of a parent is to be a role model. But what is a parent? How do I name a parent? What is the title of a parent? If we look in Divrei Chazal, we see multiple times the name of a parent is a shutuf. Shloisha shutfim ba'adam. There are three partners in a person: HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the father, and the mother. We see that someone who parents and raises a child correctly is called a shutuf l'maaseh bereishis, a partner in creation itself. Again and again and again, we see the idea that a parent is a partner, which of course brings us to the point that we need to understand what is a partnership and what is this particular partnership. If we open a chinuch, we see that if a person has a child in this world and raises them well, it's called Yishuv Ha'olam. It makes the world work the way it was supposed to. And that is the point of doing it correctly. What does that mean? And of course, this is going to bring us back to our first episode where we discussed the entire goal of being in this world, creating opportunities and building our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so we can eventually in Olam Haba reconnect with Him. Histapkus B'Shem, like we said then, the name doesn't really matter. So now let's think about what is a partnership. A partnership, of course, is something that each partner invests something and expects something in return. Let's look at this partnership. HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a partner, He invests everything. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, on the one hand, if you open a Rambam, you see created a world that if you would like to, if you would open your eyes, you would be able to understand everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling you. In other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu provides explanation. HaKadosh Baruch Hu provides clarity. But does the HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't do that on a daily or weekly basis, or sometimes yes, sometimes no? Absolutely not. HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a partner is extremely consistent. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always there. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always there to answer the call. And of course we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a meitiv tamid. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always on the giving side. Always. So far we have two things: clarity, explanation, and consistency. As far as what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets out of this partnership, as we discussed, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the human being to create the ability of a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and from that he receives nachas. Now, of course, there is more details to this relationship and to this partnership, which we will continuously get back to. Because, of course, every role and every tool and every idea that we can ever discuss a parent of using has to be learned from the first partner in this partnership, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But for today's topic, two things: clarity, explanation, and consistency. And that is what is expected of us in this partnership. Someone who wants to be a parent, a partner, needs to understand that we have to teach ourselves to be clear, to be willing to explain our actions, and at the same time be consistent. And of course, we will reap from our investment, because we will receive the nachas. But do you know what the nachas will be? The joy will be that relationship. We don't have children so that when we get old, someone will take care of us. We have children so that we can create a relationship with them, which will last forever and ever. And of course, what will that give us? That will give us a step closer to our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and at the same time, make them a step closer in their relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Reb Simcha Wasserman was famously an incredible madrich, guide, teacher for people. Someone once had the guts to ask him, Rabbi, I understand you're amazing, but you never had kids. Famously, Reb Simcha never had any children. How could you possibly know so much about parenting? And Reb Simcha answered, unforgettable. Reb Simcha answered, you're right, I was never zoiche to have children, but I had parents. What an answer. And it tells us everything. What we want to teach our children is not that we are the parents and they're the children. All we want to teach them is relationship. All we want to grow here is a relationship with them as a partner in this partnership. And of course, this relationship is going to grow. It's going to change. As we see Yaakov Avinu, at some point, he calls his children Achim, brothers. Their relationship changed. And of course, we have to get to that, and we will, Yirtzeh Hashem, get to discuss all these ideas, how they change and how we are supposed to change accordingly. But the point is that a parent, the name of a parent, the definition of a parent is a partner in a partnership with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A partner in a partnership with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which includes the child, and eventually that child is going to become an equal partner, and they will, Yirtzeh Hashem, become a parent to another child, and that partnership will continue, which of course is what we mentioned before, Yishuv Ha'olam. That is the purpose of the world, the partnership that's going to grow into another relationship and to another relationship and to another relationship. How? Many tools which we will discuss. But number one, if we look in Chazal, the Gemara Yevamah says, Hamadrich bonov b'derech yishara. Something we see in this partnership. Hamadrich, what's a madrich? A madrich is a guide. Let's take a step back and look. How does HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this partnership teach us everything? How does he guide us? With the Torah. What is the literal definition of the word Torah? The literal definition of the word Torah is guide. That's the lesson in this partnership. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I am a guide. I'm a partner in this partnership. I want to bring my ideas. How am I going to bring it? Not as a teacher, not as a whatever some other people might call a parent. I'm going to give you a guide. What does Chazal call a parent who does it right? Hamadrich. I'm a guide. By being a role model, by being a partner in this partnership with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This series is produced by TorahWire.org, sponsored by the DonorsFund.org. For all your charitable giving for a completely free and efficient experience, open your account today at thedonorsfund.org. Thank you and have a wonderful day.